Okay, you had all the information on the Mini Cooper petrol variant, and now we are in the Cooper D, or the Cooper diesel. So what kind of sets out the Cooper D from the petrol variant, and why should you even consider this car itself? There's a whole bunch of points, and I'm going to make it really as short as possible because in terms of overall design, looks and everything else, basically they look exactly the same. So that's there's no point doing stuff that you really know about. So I'm going to just quickly give you some details, real quick, bite-sized information about the diesel and some of the specs and why you should consider this car. First of all, fuel consumption. Excellent fuel consumption. I'm not kidding you. It does about 26 kilometers per liter. That's on paper, but on driving itself, it's been averaging about 20-ish, 20-ish kilometers per liter. Because it's diesel, as you know, when it comes to diesel cars, the consumption is definitely less. And it's really excellent in terms of Singapore driving. And the thing that you always want to consider is the price of petrol, which is one of the main factors, especially when you drive a family car. So that's one of the main things. In terms of horsepower, well, the petrol variant, of course, has a higher horsepower, but this one's delivering you 116 bhp. But in terms of the petrol variant, the Cooper D has a higher torque, looking at about 270 newton meters of torque, which is a lot higher than petrol variant, and that really really feel it, especially when you switch into manual mode, or even in sports mode as well. You get the you can actually feel the power coming in at really low RPMs, which I think is a really great deal when you're driving a car like the, and especially for 1.5. As I mentioned before, Mini claims on a single fuel tank, I'm talking about one tank, okay, you can look at driving for about 1,130 kilometers. That is simply crazy, honestly. I mean, 1,130 kilometers on a single tank of fuel. You can actually go up the KL and back and still not have to pump petrol. But then again, those numbers that they're giving you is based on the fact at normal city driving. Of course, if you happen to be switching modes from the mid to even sports mode maybe, and you're a bit heavy on the pedal, the numbers could change. But no matter what, it's still averaging, it's still going to give you really good mileage. And trust me, I was kind of trying to put it into sports mode, mid mode. I was really pushing this car to actually see the mileage, and really I was really blown away with the fact that you can get some really excellent mileage on the Cooper D. And of course, we have the Mini twin power turbo technology, which gives you that extra kick in the car. So that is that's one of the main some of the technologies that Mini has actually thrown into the Cooper variants, whether it's a petrol or the diesel version, which I think is really excellent. And this, of course, is a 6-speed automatic car. So even in drive mode, you can actually let the gears kind of move themselves, change themselves according to how you drive, or you can switch it to sports mode. You can actually flick through the different gears once again from 1 to 6, either or. It's basically up to you. So that's some of the great features of in terms of giving you the choice of how you can actually drive this car. Of course, there's no navigation on board, but that being said, nowadays with your smartphone, you can just kind of pop it in, and then you can actually use it as navigation. So that's saving a bit of money for you as well. And Mini has introduced the minimalism technology, which is standard in both the petrol and variant version. So that's that's really something I think is really great in terms of driving. Optimized suspension as well to give you that extra go-kart feeling, which is the branding that Mini has given for the whole series. So with better suspension, great cornering in the Mini Cooper or the petrol version, so you get some really great driving, and so you get that kind of go-kart feeling or low to the ground feeling in any of the Minis that you drive as well. And as I mentioned, different driving modes. You got your green, you got your mid modes, and your sports mode. For those of you not familiar with the Mini and different driving modes, real quick, when you go to the green mode, basically what happens is you get greater mileage. Of course, the car seems to be sluggish, seems to be kind of put that in inverted commas, seems to be sluggish, but it's actually not. Once you actually give it a bit more pedal power, you actually can feel the power coming in. But the whole idea is to when you use green, it actually kind of adjusts everything accordingly from the throttle settings, everything, suspensions, everything else, to give you a better drive. And in mid mode, basically give you the best of both worlds. You get fuel efficiency, and also you get a higher get better acceleration as well. And of course, ultimately, sports mode. We put it in sports mode. Either put it in drive mode, or you can switch it back to manual and kind of flip through the gears and kind of build up the speed according to however you want it. And with all minis, of course, there's a whole bunch of optional items you can actually add on if you like. We have the HUD, okay, which is basically the heads-up display, which is once again an optional item which you can actually choose to have or not to have. It's up to you. You also have the driver assist program, navigation if you want to, the dynamic damper control. You got your rear view camera and also your parking assistant. So these are just some of the additional add-ons that you can actually, when you buy the Mini, basically, you can actually decide to or not to purchase as well. But in terms of personalization, trust me, folks, you will be blown away with the stuff you can do. You can actually see for yourself. If you haven't been driving on the road, people who kind of like customize their Minis to how they want their cars to be. So in terms of options, from paint schemes to internal and external, whatever you want to do for your Mini, there's a whole bunch of stuff you can actually do for your car as well.